It's a prank, bro. Madison Cawthorn edition. Dispatches from the frat house. The biggest crime of the Madison Cawthorn video that just dropped is that these coke orgy ghouls are forcing me to agree with the little asshole on something. For this, I will never forgive them. Madison Cawthorn tweets, "A new hit against me just dropped. Years ago, in this video, I was being crass with a friend trying to be funny. We were acting foolish and joking. That's it. I'm not backing down. I told you there would be a drip drip campaign. Blackmail won't win. We will." I cannot believe I'm about to die on this hill. I also cannot believe people are so unfamiliar with bro culture. And I mean this literally. I cannot actually believe that people are unaware of what's happening here. A lot of you are choosing not to know because it's funnier that way, I suspect. We'll get to that in a minute. For those who actually don't know, though, allow me to explain. On May 4th, agents, I presume, of the degenerates who host the coke orgies leaked 29 seconds of the most heterosexual footage I have ever seen in my life. In it, Madison Cawthorn crawls across a large bed with a white comforter on it. Cawthorn, on top of the comforter, maneuvers onto the sleeper horizontally and aggressively as he begins to exaggeratedly hump whoever is underneath. The comforter separates them the entire time. At the end of the video, we see the man beneath the comforter groggily sit up and make confused, just waking up noises. If this sounds gay to you, you have not spent enough time around bros. Or maybe you've spent exactly enough time around bros. I don't know. Either way, well, we'll get to it. Look, here are my bro qualifications. I was in the military from 2005 to 10. From 2007 to 2010, I was in the 82nd Airborne Divisions, which is one of the most testosterone poisoned places you can end up long-term as a woman. Like Rutger Hauer, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. The funniest joke in our alcohol-soaked little lives was the idea that someone was gay. Every veteran on the planet knows about gay chicken, wherein two dudes act progressively more gay with each other until one of them chickens out. They did this whenever we were bored, which was all the time. Now, this is, of course, a very dangerous game, because if you go too far, people will wonder if you're actually gay, which is considered a very bad thing. And if you don't go far enough, well, it seems like you're protesting a little too much, and anyway, it's not very sporting. Either way, you'd be surprised how far games went. Here's another fun example. The Army periodically tested soldiers for drugs, which means you have to pee in a cup in front of someone. One time, during a piss test, a member of my platoon whipped his dick out, masturbated until erect, and hung the pee cup off of it until the meat gazer, also male, ran out of the bathroom. We laughed about this for days. This was not considered gay. I can think of at least two separate instances when a soldier broke into another soldier's barracks to get into bed with them in a very similar manner to that Cawthorn video, for laughs. Now, I'm aware this sounds batshit and also abusive. I am not here to justify it, just to tell you the truth about it. And the truth is, none of it is sexual. It's bro shit. A lot of bro shit is incredibly gay. Hazing, pranks, actions that under any other circumstances would be ragingly and unambiguously homosexual. It permeates every aspect of bro culture, and it can be very homophobic and bad and downright ugly. Ironically, though, I think it originates from a place of love. See, what you need to understand about bros is there's no good way to say I love you to a fellow bro. I mean, you can say it to them if you're hammered, but like even then it's kind of a joke. You gotta have some plausible deniability, you know? I wrote an entire trilogy of articles about how masculinity emotionally castrates men. Feelings are feminine, which means male closeness is queer-coded. For a lot of men, this means no close friendships at all. Bros, on the other hand, get around this limitation by pretending to be queer. They essentially perform the gay feelings thing, but they make it as gross as possible so everyone understands it's a bit. The root meaning, however, is often, I love you, bro, or you're one of us now, bro, or I feel safe enough around you to joke about not being masculine enough, bro. I can never get as angry about bro culture as I probably should, because at least it allows men to be close with each other. It's also deeply homophobic, obviously, and there are way better ways for men to be men together, but all the same, it's healthier than complete emotional illiteracy, and I just have trouble opposing that these days. Which brings us to Madison Cawthorn's little video, this profoundly heterosexual frat house nonsense we've all decided to pretend is hella gay. It isn't. It's a stupid prank. Can we please stop pretending it's real? I recognize this seems like a weird hill to die on. Like, I'm denying people one of life's few pleasures when there's so little cause for schadenfreude lately. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. Maybe it just pisses me off watching a bunch of ancient coke-addled monsters playing the libs like violins. Or maybe it's just, like, weird to me that so few people know what young, testosterone-poisoned men get up to in their free time. A little sad. Like, maybe this is all nostalgia, bro. Or maybe the tenor of this reaction is reminding me of the virulent and dangerous homophobia I experienced in the military. Like, not the bro shit. The real shit. Here's an example. To make sergeant, soldiers have to do the Warrior Leadership Course, the WLC, which is a few days long and supposedly teaches you how to be a leader or whatever. You get to do navigation courses, there's some marksmanship, jumping out of a Black Hawk if you're airborne, which was very cool. And mostly it's PowerPoints. And one of these PowerPoints was about how to counsel soldiers, and think something between a performance review and an HR write-up. So we each took turns fielding a counseling session with the instructor who played the part of our wayward privates, and we each got a different dilemma to play out. We didn't know what it was going to be beforehand. So when it was my turn, one of the only women in the class I just like to point out, the instructor adopted a high falsetto and a lisp, in what to this day may be the most offensive rendering of a gay person I have ever seen. He came out to me while my classmates howled with laughter. But this was during the days of don't ask, don't tell, and so I told the imaginary soldier that he can't be telling me this since I didn't ask, and that he needs to keep this quiet. And I got in trouble, dear listener, 'cause that was the wrong answer. The correct answer was to ruin his life by ratting him out through the chain of command so he could get another than honorable discharge. 'Cause he told me. He broke the pact, so he had to go. Now, obviously I never did this, would never do this. I'm queer. It wasn't safe to be queer in the military back then, and back then wasn't that long ago. 15 years, guys. Very much within living memory, and probably it still isn't super safe. I have to imagine it's better. Like, obviously this isn't the most traumatic story you've ever heard, but like, that was the atmosphere. You could lose your job for being gay. And I guess the idea of someone having their life ruined because their private life becomes public, it just feels real dangerous to me. Even if it's happening to, like, a really terrible person. A lot of people don't agree. Every time the coke orgy ghouls drop more Cawthorn dirt, I point out that the dirt isn't really very dirty, and inevitably someone says, so what? He deserves it. And actually, no, he does not. He deserves jail, possibly, for bringing guns to the congressional chamber on January 6th and otherwise collaborating or colluding, and he definitely deserves not to hold office on account of his repugnant ideas and the multiple people who have credibly come forward to accuse him of sexual assault and his Adolf Hitler fandom. He deserves to be shunned for polite society on account of all those things and more. But this thing, where we pretend that the straightest thing I have ever seen is video of Cawthorn fucking his cousin, and then we all talk about how disgusting the video is, how foul and off-putting and even criminal. Yeah, I don't think any of us deserve that, actually. People are going to tell me they're laughing about the Madison Cawthorn video because it's hypocritical of him to be both gay and homophobic/transphobic, but one, this isn't a video of Cawthorn being gay, and two, that's not why you're laughing. Come on. You're making jokes about how gross it is. You're making fun of his body and the noises he makes. If you actually think this is his sexuality, you're being incredibly fucking gross about it. I think it's bad that we reflexively attack our enemies with any weapon anyone hands us, even if it's bullshit, because we think the ends justify the means. Means themselves lead to their own ends, and they often aren't the ends we intended. Like, why should anyone take you seriously when you admit outright you'll say anything to hurt your foes, even if it isn't true? Why should anyone believe anything you say? That's straight up war. If we keep acting that way, then war is exactly what we're going to get. If you stand up for what's right, even when the people involved are scum, on the other hand, people will take you more seriously when you point out the scummy parts. Like, sometimes morality is also practical. This is one of those times. Also, like, to be honest, after the past few weeks of Cawthorn character assassination, I'm way more worried about those coke orgies than some frat house Hitler fanboy. We are seeing what happens when someone crosses the ghouls who control this party. Cawthorn crossed them by saying some shit about sex parties he shouldn't have. I have to assume there are some other red lines Congresspeople aren't allowed to cross. I wonder what they are. Don't you? Pour out a cold one for the douchiest dude bro of them all. You don't have to go home, Cawthorn, but it's looking more and more like they're not going to let you stay here. Hey, thanks for watching. Been a while since I did a YouTube video. I'm going to try to do these Substack as YouTube videos. I've been real bad about doing Substacks at all, so no promises, but, I'll give it a shot. Thank you very much to the patrons who make this possible. They make everything possible, but YouTube's where I shout them out. That's why I need to do more YouTube videos. Also, like, y'all, I don't know why any of you still give me money, but I really appreciate it. Thank you for being wonderful. Anyway, yeah, feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you want to. Obviously, that's very helpful to me. There's links in the description if you prefer to read this stuff. That's all I got. Everyone have a nice day.